So while I do research each song, it's important to note these are still just my opinions. The content was made possible by research on Genius, Google, and YouTube, as well as by my own non professional interpretation of the words and music. What makes music great is that each listener can find their own meaning, and what they take away from the experience as individuals is still unique and true. Further, this content is not monetized. The project is fair use compliant and is brought to you without advertisements thanks to Batman using Darth Vader's lightsaber to fight Jaws. You can join the Discord arts community in the link below the video. We're looking at Beef Rap by MF Doom. So, as an introduction to the series, I'm first looking at the introduction to Metal Face Doom's Food. Like any proper introduction, Doom starts at his own inspiration, setting the tone with this scene from 1983's Wild Style. Yikes, but first there's a commercial, because of course there is. I can't even skip this. This is horrible. I'm very sorry.
Relax, she'll be here. Just hang out.
Yo, bro, I'm not gonna wait for her, man. I haven't eaten all day. How am I gonna do this?
Yeah,
man?
don't wait for her, man. Don't wait for her. I'll tell you what, man. Come with me now, Ray. And, I'll get you some lunch. I'll hook you up with something. I got a little bank, no problem.
I hear you. That's cool.
All right?
That's cool.
Man, can't you guys just wait here about a half hour, man?
Yo, I'll be
Oh,
back,
it's still
man. I'm just gonna
playing.
munch up a little
Yeah.
bit, man. I'm pretty hungry.
Yo, let
I'm
him come back,
serious.
wander off.
Look, man.
As long as
So,
you guys come right back.
Doom approaches the album slowly. Oh wait, I skipped a part. Doom uses samples from this movie throughout his discography as symbols of his ambition and the love of his art. However, this scene focuses instead on the topic of the album, finding nourishment both physically and musically. From there, we slide comfortably into the album's preamble. Prepare for a commercial.
It's cool.
All right? It's cool.
Man, can't you guys just wait here about a half hour, man?
Yo, I'll be back, man. I'm just gonna munch up a little bit, man. I'm pretty hungry.
Yo, let
I'm
him come
serious.
back.
Here you will find food for your body, as well as comfort for your troubled mind. I'd really like some soup.
Bread and butter.
Of course, my friend. What happened to your hand? I'm not...
Oh, food at last.
How do you make it? Regular storage for...
Bwah. So Doom approaches the album slowly, as if stalking the listener, while offering tempting morsels with the accompaniment of several scenes from horror films and cartoons. The media used here includes scenes from Bowery at Midnight and Logan's Run, a sample of Frank Zappa, and an episode of 1981's Spider-Man entitled Canon of Doom, which continues throughout the album and serves as the beat for this track. Whoa, we're a little far behind.
Enough, Boris. You talk of the people's rights. The people have only those rights which I choose to give them. That's for their own good, believe me.
I do, Dr. Doom. I have for all our years together.
But they disappoint me. They must work faster, Boris. The satellite tracking station must be completed before the Americans launch their space platform. The guidance system Goron teleported here must be in place on time.
But the prisoner, Johann.
Ah, yes. The young traitor who is trying to turn my people against me. Watch him carefully, Boris. I have special plans for that one.
Wrong. Sorry. Wait, that was right.
What's the Barilla secret to perfect
Ew. Wow. I can't even skip these. Pretty horrible.
Beef rap could lead to getting teeth capped or even a reef from armed dudes on some grief crap. I suggest a change of diet. It can lead to high blood pressure if you're fried, or even a stroke, heart attack, heart disease. It ain't no starting back once arteries start to squeeze. Take the easy way out, phony. Until then, they know they wouldn't be talking that baloney in the bullpen. So disgusting.
So, Doom starts off strong with a declaration. While producing this album, the rap industry was suffering from infighting, which led to the creation of diss tracks by several high-profile artists. Doom warns against starting beef, as it's a good way to get punched in the mouth. He specifically brings up the beef between Jay Dilla and Tupac, which sparked rumors after Dilla's death. Doom claims that, like fried food, a fried temper can lead to heart complications. That's the wrong.
Don't let me throw my clip up in your back and headpiece, the opposite of peace. Sending mom to grief. You're talking to the robbery expert. Step into your.
Is that the same one? It is.
Until then, they know they wouldn't be talking that baloney in the bullpen. So disgusting part itself as I discuss this. They talk a wealth of shit and they know.
Oh, sorry.
The scene of justice. Bust this like a cold milk from out the toilet. 2 batteries, some Brillo, and some foil. Here, boil it. You'd be better off in PC.
There's so the bullpen is one day holding for new inmates. Before they move into a cell block, Doom addresses so-called fake rappers that rap about being in jail for street cred. He claims that anyone that's been in prison isn't going to talk about it, and it disgusts him to hear rappers romanticizing such a life, even without even seeing a judge, never mind being sentenced. In real prison, you keep your drinks cold in the toilet. If you want to cook, then you're starting a fire with batteries and steel wool, and when you get into a fight, you lose your TV privileges. Doom thinks anyone glorifying this lifestyle should take it to the internet where shit talk is common. He then criticizes the industry for having a new rap beef every week. The phrases seaweed stewed and mystery meat are a play on words about not knowing which rappers are going on the chopping block next, and the fear that it might be oneself. Alternatively, seaweed stewed could be read as see we had been stewed.
You'd be better off with the PC glued. And it's a feud, so don't be in no TV mood. Every week it's mystery meat, seaweed stewed.
We need food.
He wears a mask just to cover the raw flesh. A rather ugly brother with flows that's gorgeous. Drop dead joints, hit the whips like bird shit. They need it like a hole in their head or a third tit. Her bra.
So after getting his thoughts on the industry out of the way, the speaker, Doom, then turns his focus to himself. He starts with his most striking feature, a metallic mask reminiscent of the Fantastic Four's Doctor Doom, which hides what Metal Face considers to be a disfigurement. Throughout his music, he talks about the reason behind the mask being that the audience won't listen to anyone's rhymes if they don't have a pretty face or loads of cash. His mask gives the illusion of both, which saves him the effort. Doom describes his music as it relates to general rap fans, like bird shit on an expensive car. The crowd that's into rap drama would pass off his work as uninteresting, but the phrase, like a hole in their head or a third tit, has a double meaning, suggesting that getting caught up in the drama only leads to getting shot in the head or chest. Fans that miss out on Doom's message are also missing out on life. The following lines describe these people as lacking hygiene and social skills who spend their money on hard drugs. The line, cheap hooker that's off the hook like Ma Bell is referencing the Bell Telephone Corporation, which was dissolved in 1984 due to having a monopoly on telephone communication. The cheap hooker in this reference being off the hook means she was caught by the police and got out on a plea deal, just like the Bell Corporation got off the hook by splitting up, but with nasty reputation thereafter.
Top bleeding, maybe fella took the loaded rod gear. Stop feeding babies colored sugar-coated large squares. The odd peer swears and God fears. Even when it's rotten, you've gotten through the hard years. I wrote this note around New Year's, off a couple of shots and a few beers. But who cares? Enough about me. It's about the beats, not about the streets and who food he about to eat.
Oh yeah. MF Doom follows up with more critical imagery of the typical rap audience. The line, even when it's hot, even when it's rotten, we've gotten through the hard years, is what, quote, the odd pair, or the parents that lost their child to rap drama, say to carry on after a fatal encounter. Doom claims if you want to prevent rap-related gun violence, then the artists have to stop putting it in their rhymes and stop treating it like a lifestyle. Rather than talk about what clothes he wears or whatever else he does in life, Doom prefers to talk about when he wrote a rhyme. And eating someone's food is slang term for cutting someone's face. So to him, rap isn't about your street cred or who you hate. The music is what matters.
A rhyming cannibal who's dressed to kill and cynical, whether is it animal, vegetable, or mineral. It's a miracle how he gets so lyrical and proceed to move the crowd like an old Negro spiritual. For a mill, do a commercial for Mellow Yellow. Tell them devils hell no, sell y'all own jello. We hollered krills, she swallowed pills. He followed flea, collared $3 bills and squilt for Halalville. If y'all a pill, dig the real. It's how the big ballers deal. Twirl a L after every meal.
Despite telling us enough about me, Doom uses himself as an example of what a rapper should really be about. Someone that listens to what other rappers have to say and steps up with a witty retort rather than violence, no matter what topic you're rhyming about. Animal, vegetable, or mineral are 3 common questions to ask early in a game of 20 questions, which is the previous slide. And ties into the line that features a coupling of miracle, lyrical, and spiritual, words often used repetitively by posers to make their rhymes sound better. Doom uses a mix of mundane and complex words to create his music, while keeping the spirit of the game in mind. He then ponders the question of money, saying, for a mill, do a commercial for Mellow Yellow. Tell 'em devils hell no, sell your own jello. In several other texts, Doom tells us that he doesn't eat pork. He uses jello as an example because pork is used to make it. Halal is a Muslim concept that describes eating clean. Metal Face is saying, rappers who are that desperate for money are better off cutting drugs, stealing medication, or doing questionable dirty work than selling their rhymes to a corporation. So long as what you rhyme about is true to you and free of negativity, it's good enough for Doom. To finish with that topic, he recommends to twirl an L after every meal, or to put it another way, when you receive a good lesson, you have to reflect on it. This is also a cheeky suggestion to the listener to reflect on everything Doom himself had just said as well.
What up? To all rappers, shut up with your shutting up and keep a shirt on, at least a button up. Yuck, as the rhymers are stripping males, out of work jerks since they shut down Chippendales. They chipping nails, Doom, chipping scales, let alone the pre-orders that's counted off shipping sales. This one goes out to all my people, skipping bail, dipping jail, whipping tail, and sipping ale. Like the
After shaking up the listeners with a direct address, he gets back to his original point. Shut up with your shutting up is a particularly sharp line that lets us know what Doom hears when fake rappers give excuses.
Chitty lanes. Shut up. Shut up? Why, certainly. You don't think I'm the kind that would keep laughing. Some people never know when to stop. When I'm told to shut up, I shut up. Shut up, shutting up.
He says outright that rappers should be putting their rhymes on display and not their bodies. Apart from the mask, Doom doesn't spend money on his appearance, preferring to save his earnings and get people interested enough in his work to come to him directly for it. And to that effect, he produces his own music without a brand label. By dedicating the song to people skipping bail, dipping jail, whipping tail, and sipping ale, Doom gives the nod back to the first verse and to rappers that avoid going to prison for cred and thus get to enjoy the fruits of a life not behind bars. First fucking commercial. I hate this. Get out of here, TikTok. You suck.
Till it glow like a ruby. After which they couldn't find a villain like Scooby. He's in the lab on some old Buddha monk shit. Overproof drunk shit. But who'da thunk it? Punk trying to ask why.
Whoop. So next he talks about his creative process, rhyming Ruby and Scooby alludes to Doom's writing style as melodic, like Joe Ruby's writing. When he smokes a joint, Doom feels enlightened, like the creator of one of his favorite cartoons. Another of Doom's handles is used here, Mad Villain, and the following lines describe him lost in his head while stoned, thinking of rhymes and concepts that are, as he puts it, of the highest proof, and enlightened by his own brand of spiritualism. Finally, to close the track, Metalface postulates on what anybody could possibly have to say in response to his claims, jokingly suggesting that it's his style, but insisting that what rappers and their audience really need is a more wholesome diet.
Punk trying to ask why ours be better. Could be the Iron Mask or the Cosby sweater. Yes, you, who's screwed by the dude on the CD, nude. We need food.
Wait, bring him to me.
I'm trying to paint this figure in the middle, and it's not even coming out right. I already got like the hands like on the side, like the hands of Doom. They're like representing the city and the environment around this artist, right? And what I'm trying to draw is the artist in the middle, and he's like painting all by himself in his own world and whatnot. He don't care about nobody around him, and that's what the hands are. Everybody around him.
Yeah, who is this character? That's Zorro, right?
Thank you for watching. Next week, I'll see you when I'm Starside.